Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Sports. Again, Stan Gravois with Coach Ben Powell from HL Bourgeois. 2-0 HL Bourgeois as they get a big win tonight against Ellender. Let's look at the complete scoreboard real quick, and we'll get some of those St. Mary's scores in there. Of course, your big win, 25-21. Thibodeau, unfortunately, we didn't talk about this earlier. 26-34 Zachary. They were actually winning at one point, but it looks like they go down to defeat. We hope that that's the final on that one. Moving on. Here we go. Terrebonne goes down to South Terrebonne, 44-21. That game played at South Terrebonne Memorial Stadium. New Iberia, who is in District 7-5A, goes down to Lafayette. Takes care of Lafayette, 28-0. A little scary for you guys to think about that.
Definitely, them and Westgate definitely the teams to beat in the district. No doubt about that.
Here we go. Moving on real quickly. St. Charles Catholic 48, Vandebilt Catholic 7. Thanks, Jason, for getting that right for me. Amant 16, Ponchatoula 17. So good news for PowerPoints as far as Central Lafourche is concerned. Assumption 24, E.D. White 7. Assumption on a roll. East St. John 35. They rebound from a tough one last week to beat St. Louis Catholic, and of course that is Coach Powell's former school, East St. John. Let's move on to the next board if we can. Patterson 36, Central Lafourche 0, so Patterson moves to 1-0 in a year. Eric gives West Jeff all they can handle, but they go down 21-14. As a matter of fact, I can remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, West Jeff actually split up, and Eric became the school that West Jeff was originally, so those two schools are obviously close to each other. Here we go, moving on the board. Plaquemine 28, tough loss for South Lafourche 26. Shaw 34, Fisher 0. Nothing to say about that. That's not much of a surprise. Fisher struggles in football year in and year out. Moving on. I think our computer can't keep up with me. Morgan City 38, Berwick 13. That's a big rivalry. Congratulations to Morgan City. They pick up their first win of the year. John Curtis handles Westgate tonight. That game was played in the Dome, actually an early start as they had a doubleheader in the Dome tonight. So Westgate now 0-2. But don't let that fool you, folks, because Westgate knows how to turn it on when they have to.
They always go 5-5 and then go to the semifinals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Great win for Central Catholic of Morgan City. They defeat the #1 team in 1A, White Castle, 23-14. That is a great win. That's going to be PowerPoints right across the board. Dutchtown 35, Donaldsonville 22. So Donaldsonville scores, but Dutchtown just a little bit too good for the Tigers of Donaldsonville. Moving on to the next board. McDonough 14, Belle Chase 50. Belle Chase on a couple of schools in the area schedule coming up. Destrehan 45, St. James 22. 0-2 start for St. James at this point. Moving on to the next board. Miller McCoy goes down to Santamon, so no PowerPoints for South Terrebonne for Miller McCoy. Rummel 30, Slidell 9. Somebody has Rummel. You don't have Rummel though.
No.
Y'all had Rummel last year, I think. Okay, very good. Moving on. Next scoreboard we have coming up. Jesuit 37, Holy Cross 0. Oh, Bobby Arsenal. Oh, that's a tough one, man. Boy, that's a great tradition game.
Big time. That's one of the oldest ones.
That's one of the oldest ones. You're right. North Shore 7, Chalmette 37. So you folks at Morgan City, you played a pretty good team in Chalmette last week. Here we go. Moving on to the next board. Mount Hermon lost to Haynes. Haynes is a future opponent of Homer Christian. Bonneville got blasted by, Bonneville blast Clark. I wish I could get this right. They probably played on a dry field tonight, too.
I don't think the wind was blowing south.
No, it makes everything even in that one. Hahnville 56, Istrouma nothing. So Terrebonne, you played at Istrouma team in week 10, if I'm not mistaken. Lutcher defeats McDonough 35, 42-14. So that's a really good win for Lutcher. McDonough 35 can play football. Loranger defeats Country Day 14-12. East Jefferson is on the South Terrebonne and Ellender schedule this year, and they defeated Independence. Now, Independence is usually pretty good, so that's going to be a tough game for those teams in our area. Here we go, moving on. Reed gets blasted by East Ascension. East Ascension, a much better team. Next week, if I'm not mistaken, Homer Christian has Archbishop Hannon, and Archbishop Hannon handles Ridgewood 55-14. Moving on to the next board. Westlake 28, Abbeville zip. Abbeville 0-2. They have South Terrebonne in week 9, and they don't look to be very strong this year. I think that's a halftime score. Acadiana was up on St. Paul 14-6. That may not be a final. That's a great game. That's happening in the Superdome. Here we go. Moving on. That was the second half of that doubleheader, as a matter of fact. Salmen 9, Riverside Academy 15. So Salmen is 0-2 on the year. Ruston beats Bastrop 23-6. That's kind of big score there. Big rivalry in that area. St. Thomas More 24, Central of Baton Rouge 0. That's a good 4A football team right there, folks. Helen Cox 19, Warren Easton 6. Not much of a surprise. Helen Cox is going to be on the South Lafourche schedule coming up. This game was on Monday. Arlington, out of what they actually call Bowie, out of Arlington, Texas, defeated Carr 36-6. And Erath goes down to Catholic of New Iberia 35-13. Do we have any more up there, Jason? Let's see. Yeah, Church Point 28, Kaplan 0. Wow. Wow, Kaplan might not be as strong as we thought. South Plaquemine 6, West St. John 21. So South Plaquemine probably not as strong as we thought either. Got to take a commercial break. When we come back, young man in our area signed to play baseball at Nicholls State. We want to catch up with what's going on with their baseball program. We'll do that after this break.